When I first saw the house, it felt like a stranger's. The porch light cast a cold, unfamiliar glow, nothing like the warm one I remembered. The flower bed I'd crafted with my son years ago was gone, replaced by a stark patch of gravel and a wind chime that clinked hollowly in the wind. I wore the house key on a chain around my neck, a constant through blistering desert patrols and sleepless nights in distant outposts. But when I slid it into the lock, it refused to turn. They'd changed it without a whisper of warning. I rapped on the door, a single soft knock. It cracked open, and there was my son, eyes wide, breath ragged, dried blood caking his lip. "Dad," he said, that one word nearly shattering me. He flung the door wide and crashed into me, clutching my uniform, sobs shaking him, as if he could melt into me. "Steve did this," he choked out, tugging his lip to reveal gaps where teeth should have been. "Mom's with him. They said you were dead, that you'd never come back." A quiet rage ignited in me, every nerve humming. Beyond him, the house looked gutted. The furniture was foreign, my photos not just gone but erased with intent. "Where's your mom?" I asked. "Out with him," he replied. "Back late." I said nothing, stepping inside. He followed close, my shadow. Everything I'd known, everything I'd built had been stripped bare. Later, I uncovered their scheme. Eviction papers filed in my name, my signature forged, claiming I'd abandoned my own home. Legally, they'd declared me dead, but I was far from it. I carried my son to his room, the one corner they hadn't tainted, and tucked him into his familiar bed. No promises. I wouldn't add to his collection of broken ones. I kissed his forehead and let him sleep. Then I slipped into the master bedroom, their bedroom now. In the closet, I settled into the dark and waited. 3 years back, I'd left for my last deployment. At the airport, I kissed her goodbye, her tears warm on my face as she swore she'd count the days. I trusted her. I left a 6-year-old who built Lego forts and saw his dad as a hero. I returned to a 9-year-old with missing teeth and a heart scarred by betrayal. Mid-tour, her calls stopped. She blamed bad connections, exhaustion, my timing. Her online photos faded, then disappeared. I spotted a man in one, a stranger. "Just a coworker," she said. "A friend." I buried the doubt, but it festered. 2 weeks before my discharge, a letter from the state arrived. Eviction confirmed, my name forged, Steve's in its place. No address, no reason. I called neighbors, friends, anyone who might know. One finally spoke plainly. She'd moved him in. "Your son's struggling," they said. "Come home." So I did, landing at dawn, boarding a bus straight from the airport, no pause, no rest. But home wasn't mine anymore. That first night I stayed hidden. I told my son to keep my presence secret. He nodded, too wise for his years. While they slept, I planted cameras in vents behind frames, capturing their every move. I recorded Steve's bellows, her careless laughter, the way they dismissed my son, convincing him his fears were lies, his nightmares imagined. They scoffed at his tears in the dark, calling his ghosts fake. But he wasn't wrong. Steve was the monster, and she'd opened the door. 2 days later, I found a lawyer and quietly reversed the eviction. The police wouldn't act. Bruises and broken toys weren't enough. But I had patience. I shed the soldier and became the phantom. I left notes in Steve's car. "Look closer." He triple-locked doors, set up his own cameras. I fed them tampered footage, subtle enough to breed paranoia, to turn them against each other. Then I waited for my moment. One night, they stumbled home, loud and sloppy with drink. He dropped his keys, cursing. She mumbled about a raise. I was in the closet when they lurched into the bedroom. The door slammed, his belt hit the floor, the bed groaned. Her sighs were empty, rehearsed. I stepped out, magnum steady in my grip. Steve saw me first, eyes bulging. She went rigid. "You're dead," he stammered. "No," I said. "You are. I didn't fire yet. This wasn't about bloodlust. I needed them to feel it. I forced them to hear. Every tear my son shed, every night he stared out the window, every lie they poured into him." She wept. Steve lunged, maybe for a phone, maybe for cover. I raised the gun. Silence swallowed the room. "This house isn't yours," I said. "This family isn't yours. My son will never suffer because of you again." One shot. Steve crumpled before he hit the ground. She screamed. I left her untouched. She'd carry her guilt forever. I called the police and told the truth. He came at me, and I defended my son, my home, my honor. The cameras I'd rigged held up in court. My lawyer was prepared. They couldn't touch me. She lost custody, lost the house, and vanished somewhere far off. I never heard from her again. My son sleeps easy now. No more gaps in his smile. No more shadows in his dreams. Just calm. Just peace. Justice doesn't always wear a badge. Sometimes it comes in fatigues and waits in the dark.